welcome back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this. Dude, what is that? Dude, what is that?
Allowed to go into the Vatican to see all the cryogenically frozen popes, because one of them was my name, Consalvi. My father's name is a Roman name, Consalvi.
Did you go in?
Yeah, and that I got because it was on my passport, Consalvi.
So you saw the frozen popes?
I saw all the frozen popes.
Was it wild?
Terry Bozzio came with me, and Terry says, can we take a Polaroid? I'm like, Terry, you're serious, right? We went in with scarves on. Terry's like, get the scarf up over his nose. It pumps like this. And all these popes are above your head, like eye level, up in these clear caskets, dressed to the nines in their pupa. And they're all
Did you see your ancestor?
Yeah. And I stood right next to him. And so we leave, we see and we do all this stuff, you know, paperwork, sign to get in, get out, and all this stuff. Yeah. And then Consalvi, the Pope's all over the Vatican. He's in the walls, the whole 9 yards, right? So we go back to Frank's, the hotel, and Frank's Zappa says to Terry, well, does she look like the Pope? Terry goes, she looks exactly like him. She looks exactly like him. They stood standing next to each other. I couldn't believe it.
And he had the guts to do that.
This is just randomly going down the stairs with nobody here. Do you see this? No, it started from the top.
That's weird. If that thing flies across the room.
If this thing flies across the room, I'm moving out.
It's really cold over here.
It's cold?
No, I'm joking.
It stopped. It stopped.
It stopped when she said she was moving out.
Okay, so I know I'm not going crazy, but look at that. What in the world? Dude.
I know we all have so many questions.
Last time we went to the red carpet, it was weird energy chat. Everybody say protect your energy in the chat. Feel me? No bad vibes, no weird. Anything we notice is weird. None of that.
Yeah. Can you tell your chat to listen to my music too?
Let me hear something.
I'm no bum ass nigga.
Let me hear something.
1, 2, 3, 4 away English.
That's ass.
8, 9, 10, 11. Nope. Get the message, intellect is interesting. Nope. Been the best, I'm getting breaded.
Oh, he grabbing up Cuddy.
Peter Piper, pick the peppers.
Come on, my boy. That's Cuddy, bro. Can't be doing that. We probably our black ass right now. Chat, we probably should. Come on. It's about to get crazy. We probably black ass right now, chat. What up, young fella? Excuse me.
Knowing when to leave is so important.
So I'm out here, and I don't know if you guys see this light shining on my phone. There's no reflection, but I'm going to show you what the is. It's the sun. What in the... I've never seen this happen before. Never.
High blood sugar Pro Max.
Did you guys see the alien's face? Like, I'm sorry. That's an alien. Oh my gosh, what happened to my camera? Why isn't it letting me? Do you see? What the? What in the... I think it's gone.
People are noticing black shadow figures behind Kevin Hart and his freak-off buddies. How many do you see?
What I'm about to show you is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen on the internet. Take a look. Okay, so we've all heard about this company, right? Sure that it does ring a bell. Good. So, Google Translate, Latin to English, nothing crazy. Now let's put a few spaces in between those letters and see what happens. Alright, nothing too crazy so far. And I'll check this out. You cannot make this up. Just try it out. Try it yourself. You'll see.
I have it on the right spots, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. It's not like positive is on negative or anything.
No, we literally use these to jumpstart.
The smoke means it's charging super fast. That's all.
Take a wall of these.
No, really, because like that's what.
You just have to be faster than the slowest person.
That's enough. That's enough. There. No, that's good. Hey.
And whispering ain't gonna scare a bear. And he survived that, no cap.
Go into the bathroom, and there's Philip giving me side eye. What up, Philip?
Bro.
And the raccoon said, "Watch me."
You're saying that we should be able to upload our consciousness?
Yeah, the technology will exist to upload your consciousness onto a computer.
Holy.
That's true immortality. That's the closest thing you'll get to true immortality. It's probably going to become a very natural path for most humans.
What would it even be uploaded into? Like a cloud?
Yeah, it'd be uploaded to a cloud.
Do you think that you can experience life by uploading your consciousness to a cloud?
Eventually, yeah, if you uploaded and then you could download into a humanoid robot, then you would experience the real world like any other world. Or you could continue in some kind of simulated universe, play a video game in the cloud kind of thing.
What do you think happens when you die?
Elon always talks about we live in a simulation. As AI has gotten better at simulating the world, it's making me think more and more that we probably live in a simulation.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
We want justice. that's how they find their next pair. So see you on Netflix, Paul.
Doors closing. Please stand clear of the door. Doors closing. Please stand clear of the door.
Paul Clapper 10,000.
So 2 years later, I'm in Erie, Pennsylvania. I got my table. I'm selling my little books to him, I think. And this very nice lady, she's about 60, walks up to my table with her husband. And she says, I got a story for you. Can I tell you? I'm like, yeah. So she says, when I was 15 years old, it would be about 1965, I was in church in Western Pennsylvania in a tiny little town with my mother. And she said, in our town, everyone knew everyone, especially in church. So she's in church. So she said, in front of me, in front of the aisle ahead of us, were this blonde couple, male, female, come walking in. She says they were absolutely gorgeous. They looked like supermodels. She said they had this incredible blue clothing. I was looking at the fabric. She's a 15-year-old girl, so she's into fashion. She said, I have never seen such incredible, beautiful clothing. And she's marveling and thinking, why is no one else in this church looking at these two people? She said they stuck out like a sore thumb. It's like, you know, Marilyn Monroe and, you know, Cary Grant.
How could you not
walking
stare
in.
at them?
Yeah. So, but no one was noticing them apparently. And then she said to me, and that's when I heard them in my mind. And what she heard was one of them thinking to the other, something like, well, we appear to be fitting in pretty well here. And she's like, and then one of them, maybe the same one, I don't know, said, except for the girl behind us who can hear us. And that's when she's like practically freaking out. After that, she heard nothing. It's like they shut it down. The other thing she said about them is that they're in mass and they didn't really know how to, this is a Catholic mass, which I grew up doing. You know, sit, kneel, sign of the cross, all that. They're like looking around. They don't know what to do. So they clearly did not fit in.
Just trying to fit in.
Right. So it gets better. So she goes through the whole mass. Mass ends. The couple is up and out. And they book it out of the church. And she decides, I'm going after them. And she's following. They go down this hill. There's a field. And there's a wooded area. So they're not going to a parking lot or a car. So that's kind of interesting too. Let's just like note that little, describe that little bit. So she's going across the field, she's going down the hill, and then she stops dead in her tracks. She said, then I saw a third person at the entrance of the wooded area. She said, remember Lurch from the Addams Family?
No.
Looked just like that guy.
Terrifying.
Very tall. Like a man in black, but very tall, kind of ungainly tall, hat and a black suit, apparently. And this beautiful blonde supermodel couple from Venus or Pleiades or wherever they're from walk past him into the woods. Into the woods. He turns around and follows them. And that was her story.
Yes?
What are you doing?
Playing a game? Lonely or something?
Yes.
That leg died 18 years ago.
It won't let me shrink myself, but you're about to witness a real-life destiny swap. You have four-time Mr. Olympia Classic Physique Champion C-Bum, and then you have Callum Von Moger. At this time, he was like the biggest fitness influencer on the planet. He just had those Arnold aesthetics and his whole look. They're about to rub elbows. He's gonna tear his left bicep. Boom, there it is. And boom, destiny swap complete. C-Bum goes on to be the reigning classic physique champion after this. And Mr. Callum Von Moger goes on one of the craziest fall-offs in fitness history for fitness influencers. This was the first accident. Then he breaks his knee. Then his brother dies. His dog dies. He has drug problems. He has relationship problems. Everything just goes downhill for him after they touch elbows right here. Touch the elbows, boom. Bicep tear. Goes on to become the champion. Undisputed, boom. Goes on to lose all his gains, financial gains, relationship gains, muscle gains, just completely loses it. Is destiny swapping real? I don't know, you tell me.
According to David Oates, we learn this at an early age. Specifically, he claims we learn speaking backward before we learn speaking forward. Now, is this auditory pareidolia? Are we assigning meaning where it doesn't belong? I honestly don't know, but I'm fascinated by it. And here's something you can try. Record your daughter telling you what she did on spring break, or record your husband talking about his business trip. Then play those conversations in reverse. On second thought, don't do that. Sometimes secrets are just better kept as secrets, but not when it comes to our elected officials or anyone that has power over our lives. If just one person was able to use reverse speech to figure out what politicians are really saying, that would be like a superpower. But if an entire population can do it, that would probably lead to anarchy. So you'll have to make a choice. Dishonesty from your leaders and the status quo, or honesty and anarchy. I know what I choose.
West Coast. Both of us are in the office. So anytime you want to reach out, email it and let me know. We'll all get in touch with you.
And if you were interested in either alumni or internships from our place, I can ask our mental lab technician because she is looking for other places. Like if you need, if we can put you.
A day in the life of an Asian mom.
Before you is RS 31078, cannibalism.
And North Idaho State Representative Heather Scott introduced a new bill which expands a law banning cannibalism. It comes from what she says
banning
cannibalism in human composting. Scott says she's worried about the possibility that people are eating other people and may not know they're doing so. She says it comes with the rise in human composting, which is legal in several states as a means of dealing with human remains. Cannibalism is banned in Idaho, but Scott's bill would add a ban on giving someone else the flesh or blood of a human without their knowledge or consent.
We told you that was going on.
Through the committee and will now move to a floor vote.
The drop, the hand smell, so familiar. His fault for turning the drop rat snob.
Remember this?
Gresh never said extraterrestrial or alien. He said interdimensional.
And this one.
They are dropping out of linear space-time and traversing other dimensions. So some of the phenomenon that's extraterrestrial looks very, very close to something from another dimension.
And of course this one.
The theory is that what we're looking at here is something that can literally move interdimensionally.
And this.
It's just like we're thinking so different. And I think an advanced intelligence is manipulating frequency, electromagnetics, gravity when it applies, time, and consciousness. I don't look at this and think ET. I look at these as displacement craft that are coming from parallel realities.
Whatever happened to that?
If you can't lick the deodorant, it shouldn't go on your arm. Right. Everything goes on your body, goes in your body, so it should be edible already, right? So the chemicals that's in it, it's not even made to go on your body. So now when you expelling this deodorant, you stink. Right. You stink more. People that wear deodorant stink. They smell like hoagies. That hoagie smell is from deodorant. That's not from you. You feel what I mean? That hoagie, onion, cheese stick, whatever that smell is. I haven't smelled that smell in a very long time, over 10 years, on myself. You feel what I mean? Because I fasted that out of me, right? It's a lot of things that got to come out of your body, right? And if you've been putting it there for so long, it took me, for example, like 3 months. The hairs on my arms changed colors. After like 1 month, it was changing whitish. Right, yellowish, whitish, but I knew it was this stuff coming out of my system, right? Nevertheless, after that smell wore off, like the funky smell, right? Then your natural smell started to come out. It's right under the stink though. You gotta make it through the stink. But the stink is the detox. So I learned that now when people stink, smell like onions, right? Body odor that's stemming from their arms, this is them detoxing. You are detoxing. So before the detox finish, we go put more deodorant on. Right. The detox not even finished.
Why you on the ground?
Because they pushed the button that made me and it caused my back. I have diabetes. I'm calling the police.
And never press the button.
The Talmud and the Kabbalah are satanic.
The Babylonian
cults.
Talmud. Is
Yes,
that what it is?
yes.
Okay.
Those are satanic cults.
And are those satanic cults controlled, or were they created by these ancient Iranian bloodlines?
Yes, they were.
Please
They were.
expand.
For instance, the Aldobrandini is one of the ancient Iranian bloodlines. It's a famous Italian family. And Al is the, Dob is devil, Dini.
The people of the devil.
Yeah, the people of the devil.
Wow.
So they're definitely satanic. They're proud of it. They're open about it. We have a website, lorenmarais.info, and we have a Rothschild ball with photographs of the Rothschilds and their guests and members of their family doing satanic practices.
This is the masked ball photos?
The masked ball.
And by the way, they're called Venetian masks, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Shalom, family. Shalom. Be very, very careful, even with the seeded watermelon. Last night we tasted it, and it tastes funny. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna throw it out in the morning. But look what happened between then and now. What is this? That is not red. What is this? Coming from this watermelon, you guys. What the heck? And when we tasted it, we spit it out. And this is a seeded watermelon, you guys. So be very, very careful. So let me take a paper towel and see. Look at it. Look at this. It's thick. What are they feeding us? Shalom.
This is why there's so many problems with the human body, because we're collecting.
elementals. Every time we eat something, we don't even think about eating, most of us anymore, other than, oh yeah, that tastes good, I'll have one of those. We don't think of the fact that we're eating somebody. All right? We've been desensitized, particularly in, first world countries, where you find meat as a thing in the supermarket. You totally don't remember it as a person walking around out in the backyard, because it's a lot harder to eat it if you do. Now, what is in that meat is whatever was moving with the consciousness of who walked around in that meat before it got to you. It will have elements in it. Now think of the things that they feed our cattle, the birds. Think of the conditions that so many of them live in, because they're being abused and they're being red and braised to be murdered so something else can eat them. Think how you might feel if that were being done to you or your family. If you watched your best-born children, the ones you just had a baby and they took it off and they're going to raise it, fatten it up, and in like 3 months kill it for baby beef liver. There's a violation that the animal kingdoms and the plant kingdoms, because they feel too, are experiencing when we take in the food. They have all these elemental attachments of reversed order from the phantom matrix that attach to those negative emotional patterns. We take that in, we take the elementals in that are attached to them, and we take in their sorrow and their anger and some of their patience, because they've allowed themselves to serve as lesson givers here. The animals have. They're allowing themselves to be abused, to teach certain things. I do believe personally that it wasn't our guys that got him to take that job. I don't think it had anything to do with guardians saying, okay, as a race, you animals go in there and let them abuse you so you can teach them it's not good to, to abuse animals that way. I think that was an Anunnaki setup. It sounds like one to me. Our guys would not send a race of animals in to martyr itself to teach them lessons, because what lessons are we learning? We're learning, well, do you want it medium rare, well done, you want it seasoned, barbecued? That's about all we're learning. It's not just the animals that we pick up elementals from. Plants. There's a lot of funny things going around with like food in this day and age. You have like your vegan movements that is like, oh, you eat animals, how terrible, they have souls, Excuse me, plants do too, Huh? They do? Yeah. Usually people that are vegetarian think that they're sparing a soul. They're not doing a violation against a thing by eating it without asking. And they think it's okay because they think animals are one thing and plants are a different thing. They don't recognize the consciousness that's in the plants. And the fact that if you're going to eat a plant, you might as well eat an animal, because you're taking on the same stuff. You're taking on elementals that are twisted from the plant body. You're also taking on a karmic debt. You've just fed off something. When you think about the Weesadeks and how they put energy cords into our matrix, and without asking are sucking life force energy to sustain themselves, you can think of those cords as well in terms of what's inside our bodies, our digestive systems. We put things in our mouth without asking who lived in there. We rarely ask a piece of meat if it wanted to be a piece of meat for us to consume. We rarely ask a vegetable, even less do we ask a vegetable. We weren't originally vampires. Right now, we are behaving as vampires. It's not our natural condition. We're breatharians by nature. When we begin to purge the mutation, it's going to take a number of generations to do that. Probably about, you just said fully about 5,000 years of evolving the form back to its pure form. But the breatharian form has different stuff inside of it. If you don't eat stuff the way we eat stuff, you don't need stomachs, right? All the other icky stuff that goes with internal organs here that way. So we're evolving back into that. In the meantime, if we can, now, if you just stop eating right now, because I don't want to be an energy vampire, I refuse to be, first of all, you're not loving yourself, which means you're not identifying with the reality that you're in right now. You have to love it before you can fix it. Love is an interesting word. Love is a state of vibrational harmonization. In physics terms, that is love, where a frequency goes like this and another one goes like this, and they're in perfect harmonization. When you love something, it means you have to become one with it. True love. Once you become one with it, you have the power to change it, to shift it. But as long as we resist our shadow, or resist the elements, or decide we're never going to eat again because we're killing something every time we do, you're not going to be able to heal any of that pattern. If you can just be aware of the fact that there's huge violation taking place here of the plant and animal and mineral kingdoms and chemical kingdoms, and just put out the intention that it is understood, and it is understood by them and their Christos levels, that right now they can help us They're not going to hold it against us that right now our bodies they still need to eat. We will physically die if we don't have some degree of sustenance. Usually we could like go for 3 months with no food and just a little bit of water, we'd actually be okay, but it wouldn't feel very good. Because you'd have to go through DTs, like getting off heroin. Getting off food's even worse, where everything hurts, where the body starts to eat itself alive, it doesn't know what to do with itself. Oh, help, all the elementals go crazy because they don't have anything to feed off of anymore. We don't need to put ourselves through that to be respectful of the things, the other beings that we're eating, but we need to realize we're in a co-creation situation. Next time you sit down and look at a piece of meat or a vegetable, say thank you to it, not to God. God already is thanked. God doesn't need to say thank you, thank you. Say thank you to the being who just gave itself to you. And say, is there anything I can do to help you? And one of the first things that if you start to listen to vegetables especially, they'll say, yes, there is. Run Maharic frequency through my body form. It'll not only help you when you take it in, it will set the parts of themselves elementally trapped so they can go up to a higher level of evolution. So if we can eat consciously, we can eat graciously.
Yes, sir. Just fitness these tacos in my mouth. And that's a wrap for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button. Be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.